join here. So yeah.
Yeah, welcome. That's so wonderful. I'm so glad. It's so good to have so many people in a class. Makes me happy. So thank you for being here. Let's see. Maria, would you like to share?
Yes. Hello, my name is Maria. I am 13 and I have been learning English my whole life since I was a little. I plan on going, in an exchange program to the US, but like I don't know how to start about it. So like I still have 2 years before I apply to the exchange program. Um, I would love to own a bakery or a restaurant when I grow up. I feel like that's my passion for now. That's what I want to do for now. And I speak a little bit of French. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's so
and
cool.
I'm like very much familiar with the American culture since like I watch a lot of vlogs on YouTube.
Mm-hmm. So do you have family members that speak English if you've been learning English all your life? How has that happened?
My mom does speak English, but I speak English with my friends every day because like I go to an international school.
Got it. Okay. You speak English very well, obviously. So nice to meet you, Maria. I think that's a wonderful dream to open a restaurant or a bakery. I would love to come visit. That sounds amazing. And I speak just a little bit of French too. I took it in high school. I used to be able to hold like, a basic conversation, but I have not used it in years. So, and not so much anymore. So that's cool. Eric, Tom, would you like to share?
Hi, nice to meet you, sir. My name is Tom Lien Tang, as also known as Eric Tom. Eric is my English name. Last 2 years, I passed my matriculation exam, and I think I'm hopeless to continue my school in this country. So I searched many schools and I joined many other training courses. And last week, I saw this post to join, and I think it is a good opportunity to attend, to get not only improvement in English, but also for scholarship.
Yeah, I understand. Thank you for sharing. So nice to meet you. I'm so glad that you're here. Let's see. Daniel Ong, are you there? Hi.
Hello.
Hello. Would you like to share?
Okay, sir. And my Burmese name is Yekou. Yekou, and my friend called me Daniel. Yes, and I am 29 years old. I am 29 years old. I live in Mae Sot, Thailand now. Mae Sot, Thailand, and then and now last year I applying as an I was applying as an political assigner in US.
Yeah.
In US, and now I live in Mae Sot, and then I wanna work in US and I am attending community college in US. So I found Daniel Education Center in on Facebook. Yesterday I can join the Daniel Education Center. Today I am very happy to attend with you and then and I am so happy, and I understand. I understand your pronunciation. Your pronunciation 50%.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I can understand your pronunciation 100%.
Yes.
So congratulations.
Yes.
So that's really cool. So you're planning to come to community college. Like is like, do you already have your plans in place, or are you still looking for a college?
Sorry, sir. Huh?
Do you already have like, have you already applied to a college, or are you looking for a college?
No, and uh, uh, mm,
Like, you want to come to the US to go to
yeah.
community college. Yes?
Yes.
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 Yes. But you don't know when yet.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. I wasn't sure if you already had your plans or if you didn't know when. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Thank you for sharing. Nice to meet you.
Mm.
I'm glad that you're here.
Welcome,
Okay.
sir.
Yes. We will probably go ahead and get started on our first activity. Thank you to those who were able to share. I wish every person had a chance to introduce themselves, to tell me their stories. I love getting to know you, learning your culture, your story. So probably for the next few classes, I'll let some people share just so that we can get to know each other. It sounds like some of you guys already know each other. But let's go ahead and get started so that we do a little bit of learning today. I'd like to start by just reading you a passage. Now, this passage I took as a passage from the SAT test, because I know some of you guys are planning for it. It's also just a higher level text that is for college students or later high school students, so that you can practice more advanced vocabulary. Now, I'll be interested to know kind of if it's easy or too hard, or because I know we're probably on different levels of learning English, right? So for some of us, this might be an easy passage. For some of us, it might be difficult. Now, I am going to say it's an excerpt from, let me look what it's from. It's an excerpt from a book called The Scarlet Plague, published in 1915, so quite a while ago. It was written by Jack London. I've never actually heard of this book or read this book, but it is a short passage from that book. And because it was written all the way back in 1915, there are a couple vocabulary words that we don't really use in English anymore, because, right, language changes. But I think it will be interesting for you guys to hear. And hopefully for even some of the more advanced students, there'll still be some words that you don't know. And so you can learn some words, because that's the purpose of today. And then for our students who are still learning English, right, who aren't as advanced, that's okay. You'll just have even more vocabulary words that you'll learn today. So really your goal right now is to just listen. And you're just listening to understand, and you're listening for new words. You're not going to try and like figure out what those new words mean yet. You're just going to listen, because after you listen this first time, we'll re-listen to it, that it'll be like a recording. Because the reason they have them do it like a recording is so that we can stop it and then talk about it, so that we don't like lose our spot. So we'll see how it goes, and hopefully you guys can hear it. If not, I'll probably just like reread it, because that'll make sense. Anyways, so this first time you're just listening, you're just trying to understand, and then we'll go back through and we'll talk about vocabulary and what it means and how those words could be used, like I talked about before. Okay, so let's go ahead. I'll read to you. So like I said, it's a passage from The Scarlet Plague, written by Jack London. An old man and a boy traveled along this runway. They moved slowly, for the old man was very old, his movements tremulous, and he leaned heavily upon his staff. A rude skull cap of goatskin protected his head from the sun. From beneath this fell a scant fringe of stained and dirty white hair. A visor, ingeniously made from a large leaf, shielded his eyes, and from under this he peered at the way of his feet on the trail. His beard, which should have been snow white, but which showed the same weather wear and camp stain as his hair, fell nearly to his waist in a great tangled mass. About his chest and shoulders hung a single mangy garment of goatskin. His arms and legs, withered and skinny, betokened extreme age, as well as did their sunburn and scars and scratches betoken long years of exposure to the elements. The boy, who led the way, checking the eagerness of his muscles to the slow progress of the elder, likewise wore a single garment, a ragged-edged piece of bearskin, with a hole in the middle through which he had thrust his head. He could not have been more than 12 years old. Tucked coquettishly over one ear was the freshly severed tail of a pig. In one hand he carried a medium-sized bow and an arrow. On his back was a quiver full of arrows. From a sheath hanging about his neck on a thong projected the battered handle of a hunting knife. He was as brown as a berry and walked softly with an almost cat-like tread. In marked contrast with his sunburned skin were his eyes, blue, deep blue, but keen and sharp as a pair of gimlets. They seemed to bore into aft about him in a way that was habitual. As he went along, he smelled things. As he went along, he smelled things as well, his distended, quivering nostrils carrying to his brain an endless series of messages from the outside world. Also, his hearing was acute and had been so trained that it operated automatically. Without conscious effort, he heard all the slight sounds in the apparent quiet, heard and differentiated and classified these sounds, whether they were of the wind rustling the leaves, of the humming of bees and gnats, of the distant rumble of the sea that drifted to him only in lulls, or of the gopher just under his foot, shoving a pouch full of earth into the entrance of his hole. Suddenly, he became alertly tense. Sound, sight, and odor had given him a simultaneous warning. His hand went back to the old man, touching him, and the pair stood still. Ahead, at one side of the top of the embankment, arose a crackling sound. The boy's gaze was fixed on the tops of the agitated bushes. Then a large bear, a grizzly, crashed into view, and likewise stopped abruptly at the sight of the humans. He did not like them and growled, I don't know how to, this word is hard to pronounce, querulously. It's like a quarrel, querulously. Slowly, the boy fitted the arrow to the bow and slowly pulled the bowstring taut, but he never removed his eyes from the bear. The old man peered from under his green leaf at the danger and stood as quietly as the boy. For a few seconds, this mutual scrutinizing went on. Then the bear, betraying a growing irritability, the boy, with a movement of his head, indicated that the old man must step aside from the trail and go down the embankment. The boy followed, going backwards, still holding the bow taut and ready. They waited till a crashing among the bushes from the opposite side of the embankment told them the bear had gone on. The boy grinned as he led back to the trail. "A big un, Grancer," he chuckled. The old man shook his head. "They get thicker every day," he complained in a thin, undependable falsetto. "Who'd have thought I'd live to see the time when a man would be afraid of his life on the way to the Cliff House? When I was a boy, Edwin, men and women and little babies used to come out here from San Francisco by tens of thousands on a nice day. And there weren't any bears then. No, sir. They used to pay money to look at them in cages. They were that rare." "What is money, Grancer?" Before the old man could answer, the boy recollected and triumphantly shoved his hand into a pouch under his bearskin and pulled forth a battered and tarnished silver dollar. The old man's eyes glistened as he held the coin close to them. I can't see, he muttered. You look and see if you can make out the date, Edwin. The boy laughed. You're a great grandsir, he cried delightedly, always making believe them little marks mean something. Okay, so that's the end of our passage there. And I had, let me see. I had made a recording, and I'm not sure if you guys will be able to hear the recording. So I'd like to just test it out. And then if y'all could let me know if you can hear it or not, because, you know, like sometimes Zoom, if it's not the right settings, you can't like hear the audio from the computer. So just give me a thumbs up if you can hear it, okay? So I'm pressing play.
An old man and a boy traveled along.
Can you guys hear that?
They moved slowly, for the old man was burial, his movements tremulous.
Okay, so I'll go back to the beginning. So kind of the way this works, thank you. The way this works is I'll play it, and we want to be able to stop it whenever there is a vocabulary word you don't know or sentence structure that doesn't make sense, right? So if any moment that you get confused and it's like, huh, what does that mean? You just put up your hand, okay? Like on the Zoom thing, you just go to reactions and you just press the hand, and we'll stop it. And that will tell me that we need to talk about it. So I'll call on your name, whoever put up their hand, and you'll just ask like, okay, what does whatever the word is? What does that word mean? Whatever is that's confusing, and we'll have a conversation about it so that we can grow in vocabulary. And what's really cool is, right, like it'll help that particular person, but likelihood of multiple people being confused about the same word is very high. In fact, even as an English, native English speaker, some of these words are like, huh? So hopefully it'll be good. It'll be fun. So I'm going to play the recording. As soon as you hear something that you're confused by, just give a thumbs up. Let me get it so that I can see you all and play the recording over here. Okay, this should work. We'll see how it goes. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and play it.
An old man and a boy traveled along this runway. They moved slowly, for the old man was burial, his movements tremulous, and he leaned heavily upon his staff. A rude skull cap of goatskin protected his head from the sun. From beneath this fell a scant fringe of stained and dirty white hair. A visor, ingeniously made from a large leaf, shielded his eyes, and from under this he peered at the way of his feet.
So I'm just going to pause really quick. So everyone's understanding so far? There's no vocabulary words anyone's confused on? Okay, we'll keep going.
A trail. His beard, which should have been snow white, but which showed the same weather-wear and camp stain as his hair, fell nearly to his waist in a great tangled mass. About his chest and shoulders hung a single mangy garment of goatskin. His arms and legs, withered and skinny, betokened extreme age, as well as did their sunburn, scars, and scratches betoken long years of exposure to the elements.
Okay, so everything making sense so far?
What does the token? Is the token? I think I hear a token.
Thank you. I was like, somebody has to ask what that means because even I didn't know what that meant. The token is not used in English very much anymore, which is why I was like, what in the world is this? Which just makes sense because it's a passage from 1915. But if you look at the context, right? It says, it's talking all about how, right, like he's very disheveled. He doesn't look great. He clearly has like lived out in the sun all his life. He's literally just wearing like goat skin. He's not wearing clothes, like, you know, etc. So his arms and his legs withered and skinny, betokened extreme age. So meaning it like represented, or it showed that he was very old, right? That him being so skinny, him being so withered, right? Like wrinkled, and his skin so, you know how like when you get real old, you're not a young spring chicken anymore. That it like showed that he was extremely old. And then it goes on, as well as did their sunburn and scars and scratches betokened long years of exposure to the elements. So again, it showed off that they've been in the sun, they've lived out in the wilderness, right? They've suffered the elements, right? And so they have sunburn and they have scars and they have scratches. So it just means that it gives that example, that it represents that they're old and they've lived out in the elements. Does that make sense?
So the token is just another way of saying the subject, meaning the old man.